What if solving today's most pressing challenges, like workforce readiness and equitable access to opportunity, rely not on one sector, but on the power of community collaboration? Welcome to Think Different, the podcast where educators, innovators, nonprofits, and industry leaders come together to shape the future. Here we explore how collective action can transform not just classrooms or boardrooms, but entire communities. Stick around for stories, strategies, and conversations that spark real-world change as we make the weirdest connections to transact a win-win. Because at MindSpark, we don't just think different, we think difference. We're your hosts, Keisha Miller and Lauren Schaefer, and in this episode, we're sitting down with Ale Spray, the Chief Executive Officer and President of Hispanic Contractors of Colorado. Join us as we talk about the importance of representation and inclusion of women in the STEM world, challenges that come for women advancement in industry, and how to always know your worth. As CEO and president of the Hispanic Contractors of Colorado, the HCC, Ale is responsible for the overall management, strategic direction, and successful achievement of the organization's mission and objectives. Founded in 1990, HCC is a trade organization that advocates, supports, and represents small minority women-owned businesses in the design and construction industry. Born and raised in Guadalajara, Jalisco, and resident of Colorado since 1999, Ale has 20 plus years of construction experience. She received her Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering from the Institute of Technology and Higher Studies of the West in Guadalajara, Mexico. A fellow from the Latino Leadership Institute, received her Diversity and Inclusion Certificate program through University of Cornell, completed the Governor's Fellowship program, received her Corporate Social Responsibility Certificate through the University of Colorado Leeds School of Business, alumni of the esteemed Leadership Denver and Leadership Fellows programs with the Denver Metro Chamber Leadership Foundation. Ale has been extremely involved in the community with her board service, such as governor appointed to the Advisory Council for the State of Colorado Minority Business Office, Advent Health Avista Hospital in Louisville, Velcro Credit Union, Associated General Contractors of Colorado, STEM Blazers, Mile High Youth Corps, Colorado Succeeds, and chairwoman of the Board of Construction Education Foundation, the first woman and Latina to serve in such a role. Ale has participated in several panels sharing her story as a woman in the construction industry, career opportunities, and workforce initiatives for diverse talent and the importance of diversity and inclusivity on construction projects. Some of the events Ale has been a guest panelist and speaker for are Rocky Mountain Partnership Inaugural LatinaCon Conference, Adelante Community Inaugural Latina Convention that was all held in Spanish, the Denver International Airport Commerce Hub Business Diversity Summit, Adams County Education Consortium Classroom to Career Symposium, Latinas, Líderes, and Emprendedoras panel, Mortenson's annual Women in Construction event, The Other F Word, talking about fears, ENR's groundbreaking Women in Construction Luncheon Roundtable Discussion Facilitator, Empower Yourself Now, How to Meet the Inner Critic, ENR's groundbreaking Women in Construction, How Social Media Can Ease Pain Points and Boost Your Brand, and South Metro Denver Chamber Women in Business Conference, Making Deposits in Your Confidence Account. Some of Ale's accolades include 2008 Business Developer of the Year by the Society of Marketing Professional Services Colorado Chapter, 2021 Outstanding Women in Business by the Denver Business Journal, 2022 Latina of Influence by Hispanic Lifestyle, 2023 Top 25 Most Powerful Women in Business by the Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce, 2023 Ally of the Year by the Colorado LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce, Power Book Class 2024 by the Denver Business Journal, Women in Distinction Class of 2024 by the Girl Scouts of Colorado, and 2024 Leonardo Award by the Marketing Professional Services Colorado. Her proudest accomplishment and highest title are being the mother to Nicole and Alexander, two energetic teenagers who keep her grounded. Ale is committed to help and mentor young professionals. She is a strong advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusive practices for the betterment of the construction industry and empowerment for women in the corporate world.
Now I know I'm tired.
Wow.
Yeah, you must be exhausted.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We're so happy to have you. Your background is
Thank
nothing if
you.
not impressive and just extensive. It's something you've had a lot of experiences and showed up for so many different communities. So that is so wonderful, and we're excited to dive into that a
Thank
little
you.
bit more. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background besides kind of what goes in your bio and about your organization, what its history is, what its values are, and just kind of where you're
Yeah,
coming
well,
in at
thank you
today?
so much for having me here today. I'm excited. I love the thinking differences. That's what the corporate has to come and engage with students. It's no longer we wait for them to come and apply for a job. We have to engage early on to kind of interest them in our fields and support them as they move in their career. Um, you mentioned I was born in Guadalajara, Mexico. So Guadalajara is known for the mariachi and tequila. So I'm a proud, another really great product from Guadalajara. So I moved to Colorado in 1999. I'm the baby one in my family. Pretty much my family is still in Mexico. I'm the only one that decided to move and leave the nest. As you saw, I'm a civil engineer. My dad was a civil engineer, but 20 plus year ago, saying I want to be an engineer was a little bit of shock for my family. My family has more of a financial background, CPAs, so they thought I was follow that step. So when I kind of gave them the surprise that I want to be an engineer, they were not expecting that. So I always joked that my grandma was pretty in shock, and she said, "Well, I'm not surprised, but I don't think you'll ever get married because you cannot be smarter than a man." So that was something that I said, "Well, I guess I will have to learn how to do on my own." Um, so, um, construction engineering, I love math since I was little one. I taught algebra 1 year after college. Um, my deep respect to teachers because it's a hard job, really, really hard job. So I love that. Um, so construction is in my blood. My dad was also a civil engineer, so I love that how we transform communities from a home, a hospital, a library, um, a stadium, something, even a bridge, how connect communities. So that was always my intent, but I don't think we ever decide I'm going to stay in the same path, and my path has never been linear. So that's a little bit about me. Like I say, I live in Erie with two teenagers. One is a CSU now student, one is a senior high school, and watching also how they navigate school and trying to find their decisions. And as a parent, you want to help them, but also as an immigrant, I learned that the educational system here with them, which is nothing really easy, when they navigate from middle school, high school to college, is also, I learned a lot of barriers for people of color trying to even understand how to help their kids to do a college essay, grants, fundraising, scholarships. It was complicated, and I'm glad my daughter was the smart one to figure out her own. But that also gave me the glimpse of what some parents might face, and once your kid is in college, how you can support them when they have never had that experience. My experience in college has been outside the United States, so I'm also learning that. So it's always a learning process for me. Different roles in my career, and now I have been in this role almost a year and a half. Hispanic Contractors, I've been involved in the association as a volunteer, board member, board chair for almost 20 plus years. So when this opportunity came, um, I had to think a little bit, but I think it was also a natural transition. And, my career has been lately in my past 15 years advocating for this diversity before it was even a hot word, giving the opportunities for people. We all want the same thing: work, provide for our families, stand out, make a career. So I see some of the barriers for some people. So little by little, I came into this, and HCC has been around for 35 years, founded by 11 Hispanic business owners, saying, we pay taxes, we are abiding the law, so why we cannot be part of the big projects, the course field, the Broncos Stadium, the ball arena. And that's what we ask, is the opportunity for them to present their companies, because they're not big companies, they're smaller, that they want to just work, provide, and grow in their capacity. And that's what HCC does. And we also get into the politics because there's some laws that affect small businesses that we don't feel, and they don't have the time or the resources to go and advocate. So now also I'm finding my political bug is really exciting, to advocate and connect with elected officials and educate them about what the struggles are for them.
Yeah, that's incredible. I feel like true trailblazing happening. And so what I appreciate with your story so much is not only like do you share what you value and kind of believe, but you show that through example and like your actions, what you're doing, like you
Thank
live it
you.
out at the same time. So that's
Thank you.
incredible. Thank you for sharing. You mentioned kind of education briefly, which is a huge thing that Mind's works about. So we're gonna pick up. Can you tell us an educator or a mentor who was impactful on your career and kind of your
You
journey
know, it was
overall?
interesting. I shared a picture. I was the only woman in a class of 23 men. So I never have a female teacher. I never have a female mentor in my career. So, at the beginning, it was kind of fun saying, oh, I'm the only girl here. This is fun. But even the struggles, I was never allowed to go and study in a friend's house overnight because, I was the only woman. So my mom's like, nope, you have to come back home. There was a teacher that it was interesting in the first year. He asked me why I was not planning to be a wife and preparing to be a wife instead of being an engineer. Um, yeah, it was. I was shocked by that. When I graduated, he came and congratulated me and say, "I was teaching you how hard it is gonna be." But I asked, maybe you should have mentored me instead of making it harder for me. In my last year, urban development, there was a teacher, Juan Ornelas. He was always understanding, and that every teacher had a little way to shape me. They could not be really the I'm gonna embrace you, I'm gonna help you. It was more like it was different because I was the only woman, so they have to be careful how they navigate that relationship. So um, I just have to learn on my own. I have classmates a year ahead of me. There were three women that I kind of connect with them, but they were already going in their path. And there were three other young women also in the year before after me. So I was the only one that I was trying to get to create my village, but we were trying to prove ourselves in a male war. So I still connect with some of them, but it was just interesting. But during my college years, I cannot really say there was one teacher. I think everybody contributed in their own way, and they were supportive in their own way as well too.
How do you think that that shaped your ability? Because, we listed off all of your accomplishments and all that things that you do, and you spend a lot of time and energy
Yeah.
mentoring. How do you think that shaped you into becoming a mentor and to becoming someone that helps to shape and guide young women that are, entering these male dominated
Spaces.
still spaces?
As we have more women in the industry and construction, we like to change the narrative and saying it's no longer male dominated, it's male populated because we are having more women in here, right? So we have to change also. They're not dominating, they are populating. For me, I think that's a great ask question because, I hear people saying the typical, I did it on my own, why they cannot do it, right? It shapes you. And I don't believe in that. I have my struggles. I don't think I would change much, only to have more support from females teachers, but that will help me to shape what I was doing. Growing up, you can ask my mother every time somebody will tell me you cannot do that because you're a woman. That really irritated me because I never thought that my gender would limit my ability to do something. So even my dad told me that's not a job for a woman. So maybe you should think a different career. And not because he doubted my capacity, I don't think he wanted to see me in that world. So I always tell people when you tell me I can't, I'm going to show you I can and I will. So meeting young women, and some we all come from different backgrounds. Some of them have more challenges. And for me to say, I'm not going to open completely the path. I'm just going to share my experience, right? And what we're finding in our industry, mentors are important. Mentors help you guys. But what we are needing more and more is sponsors. The sponsors that will say, I'm going to put your name in the room where you're not. I'm going to give you this opportunity. Because as mentor, we can guide you, provide an advice, provide or lesson learns. But the sponsor is saying, you know what, if you give me your resume, I'm going to present it to this person. If you tell me you want to take in this project, I will advocate for you. If somebody is asking for a person in a meeting that you're not there, I will put my hands on fire for you. So for me, it's more we have to convert the mentors into sponsors. And for me, it's like seeing in construction, we have women, but we're still like a lot of women of color, and that's one of the challenge we're seeing. There's a lot of Latinas that want to learn and be good at math, but they feel like my parents are not going to support me because the same thing they don't think is a career for me. So if I can come and talk to the parents and say we have a group of women that we will support them and help them, and I can be a sounding board, and sometimes I can give them also a little smack in the back and say, okay, think about what you're doing and see how we're gonna get there, because I have a mentor when I started my career, and my first job in the United States. His name is Manuel Gonzalez. He hired me without many references, and he said, "You seem like you have the energy." And he always asked me, "Why you want to do this? How you gonna get there? And what is the outcome that you expect from this?" So his mentorship and sponsorship, he was a sponsor for me too, is what really helped me in my career. And I think we have to pay it forward. My mother has a great saying: when so much is given, so much is expected. So I feel like I have been given many opportunities. I have given a lot of good people and being in the right place in the right time, that for me to keep this and say everybody can do it on their own because I did it, is not it's not the right attitude. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to help. We're supposed to guide, to mentor, to sponsor. So for me, that's my passion to happen. And if I don't have the answer, we'll find it together.
I love that. That's empowering. I think to share your experience of kind of overcoming the challenges is so helpful for others to hear and hopefully
Mhm.
motivate the same way that yeah, the path might like a little bit different, but it can be doable and
Yeah.
accomplishable. Why not? Words.
You have such a positive outlook too. I really like the way that you reframe things, like, instead of calling it male
It's
dominated,
really
it's male
related.
populated.
Yeah.
I really love that. Wow.
I moved here
Yes.
when I was 20 something, and trying to make friends when you're a young adult is not easy. Um, my friends were not in college. All my friends were in Mexico, right? I tried to start a new group of friends, a group of colleagues. It was daunting, and a new culture and a new language. So for me, one day was that aha moment of saying, I can be miserable and regret this, or I can make the best out of it, right? And, people make fun of how I started, how I look, and everything. But at the end, it's like your insecurity is yours. It's not about me. I'm just going to keep moving forward, and I'm going to learn along the way. And, I do a presentation with Colorado State University because they have a summer program for women interested in construction. And, as I told them, we are here to support each other. If you want to come with your negativity, we're going to have to put you aside because we don't have time for that. We are going to elevate each other. We're going to support each other. We're going to learn from each other. But we have to do it with a smile. We have to do it with the attitude that, nothing is going to be easy. My daughter had a swing coach that said nobody said it was going to be easy, but they say it was going to be worth it. And I completely agree. It's worth it and I enjoy it.
I love that. That's a great advice. It's worth it. Love that. Can you share a story or an example of a woman whose work in STEM has significantly impacted the Hispanic Contractors of Colorado community or the broader construction industry?
I worked for Mortensen for almost 5 years. One of their managers, Magic Rosenquist, was one of the first women in the construction industry, uh, opening the path for more women. So I learned from her that, you cannot always use your gender card. I'm a woman. No, you want to be here, you have the capability, you have to show the world. Another great woman, Barbara Jackson, she is with the Design Build Institute. She was a great mentor. And she's always promoting it's not man versus woman. It's not about the competition. It's about how we complement our skills and what we have to offer to a team. So that's what we say. If it's not the fight that women are better than men. No, women deserve the same opportunity as men. I always lately I have been sharing in some panels that my aha moment is men get promoted in potential and women get promoted by results. So we need to change on that because when men showing up young age that they have the potential, they're given mentor sponsor opportunities. And women are like, you finish this project and see how you do, and then we will give you a bigger project and see how you do, and we'll give you a mid project. And if a woman decides to step back to take care of a family, start a family, or take care, we feel that we take or step back. So we need more women in this industry to say, you know, we have the capability, we have the experience, we have the desire, but at the end, it's not a competition. We have to stop that. It's not a competition. It's about complementing and bringing and making teams stronger and smarter, better, friendlier, neutral, whatever you want to call it, the women will bring to this.
I think that's such an important thing to note because when we talk about these STEM spaces and them being heavily male populated, it's not this male versus female sort of thing where we just want all the women to take over. We want different perspectives at the table because that's how we get better products. That's how we get better things when people, and it's not just, it doesn't stop at gender when we're talking about diversity. We want people from different backgrounds at the table because they're going to bring different insights and perspectives to those planning stages and, all the different elements and stages that happen when you're building communities and you're building hospitals and you're building big buildings. People from different backgrounds and walks of life are going to have different things to bring to the table, and it's going to create a better product at the end of the day if you have a diverse
Well
table.
said. And again,
Yes.
you're right. It's not the competition. It's about how. And to be honest, when people ask me why women need to be in there, I'm like, because we're almost half of the population. It's not the smart thing. We're also part of the consumers. We're part also the ones that can provide feedback of what a product is working or not. We are some of the users of these projects. So why is our perspective not being considered? And we see more women being independent financially. We have the economic power to buy and to contribute. So why we're not being taken in consideration is not asking for a favor. I'm not saying giving them the hand me down. Let them fight for that opportunity, right? So it's for me, it's like basically we're half of the population, and we need as many hands to work to fill these jobs.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that you said the